Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Thanks for joining us this morning. We've got another edition of Classic Live Album War. We're in the final three matchups in round two. Okay, we've gotten down to the end of round two. We've had some spirited battles, some blowouts to be expected. I think a lot of the albums that at least me anyway, expected to kind of keep moving on. A couple surprises along the way, but nothing earth-shattering yet in round two. Today we've got two pretty cool albums, one from 73, one from 76. Both very different. That's different is going to happen in a tournament like this. You know, we're getting these comments here and there, both on YouTube here and on the Facebook page. People like, I don't understand your matchups. Why would you not do a blues rock album against a blues rock album, a metal against a metal, prog against prog, jazz against jazz? Well, you know, we kind of started off that way, but it's a tournament. Every album is different. You're going to get stylistic matchups that kind of don't make sense, but it's album versus album. All right, it's just like any kind of competition out there, whether it's a boxing match, a wrestling match, a sprint, okay, or a tennis match, any one-on-one. The combatants are always really different. They're never exactly the same. Wouldn't be a competition then, right? So here you got to kind of think, well, which one? I know these two albums are really different, but which one do I like more? Which one do I listen to more? Which one's emotionally hits me harder? Which one do I have more history with? I mean, that's what you got to ask yourself, right? So none of these matchups are going to be identical combatants. So it's just not going to happen, all right? Especially as we get further in the tournament. So just kind of get over that and stop thinking in that mindset and just open your eyes. Like, which album do I like better? Okay, which one do I listen to more? Which one do I have more history with more? That's it. If I had to reach for two, if I had to go on a desert island and take one of them, which one would I take? All right, that's what you got to kind of do here. It's all in fun, though, guys. There's no right or wrong answer. So, from 1973, Space Rock Pioneers' Hawkwind Space Ritual. Okay, and on the other end of the ring, Robin Trower, blues rock guitar legend, and live. Can forget about this one there. We're talking about that album right there. Okay. Robin Trower, ex-Procol Harum lead guitarist, doing very fine for himself in this particular time period, right? It's hot off the heels of Bridge of Sighs and For Earth Below and Twice Removed from Yesterday, I should say. But let's start off with Space Ritual first. Like I said, a pretty crazy double album. These guys are almost hard to classify. Everybody calls them space rock, but man, psychedelia, heavy rock, little bits of free jazz kind of all colliding here for a noisy cacophony of exotic sounds unlike anything we'd ever heard before, right? So this was recorded December 22nd, 1972 at Liverpool Stadium, also December 30th, 1972 at Brixton Sundown in London. Released officially May 11th, 1973. Okay, we've got the lineup here of Dave Brock on guitar and vocals, Nick Turner on saxophone, flute, and vocals, Lemmy, Ian Kilmister, okay, yep, that Lemmy from Motorhead. It's the band he was in before Motorhead. Bass guitar and vocals. Dick Mick, otherwise known as Michael Davies, on audio generator and electronics. Del Detmar on synthesizer. Simon King on drums, and Robert Calvert on poetry, vocals, and some spoken word passages and what have you. Okay, so what do we got on this legendary album? All right, so we've got, again, this is a wild album. I remember the first time I heard this, I was kind of like, what the fuck is that? Hawkwind is not for everybody. But I think the more you kind of open your mind and your ears to the music of Hawkwind, the more you gotta love them, right? It's just this, heavy throbbing bass and all these weird keyboards and electronica, okay, and heavy guitar riffs, squonking sax and flute, all the processed effects-laden vocals and some spoken word stuff, and it's just a lot of relentless rhythms. Just a really different band. You got Born to Go, Down Through the Night, The Awakening, okay, Earth Calling, Lord of Light, Black Corridor, Spaces Deep, the wonderful Spaces Deep on side 2, Oregon Accumulator, near 10 minutes on side 3, again, a lot of cacophonous, throbbing sounds, Upside Down, 10 Seconds of Forever, the incredible Brainstorm, one of the preeminent space rock tunes of all time. 7x7, Sonic Attack, Time We Left This World Today. It's just like it's just like meditative, right? Repeating the vocals over and over. It's a really kind of addicting, kind of just mesmerizing tune. Master of the Universe, another Hawkwind staple. And Welcome to the Future. Okay. And, the remaster's got all sorts of bonus tracks. You got You Shouldn't Do That. Another version of Master of the Universe, Born to Go. Okay. Got various different reissues and remasters of this album, adding all sorts of different tracks. It's a great album, regardless of which version you have. All right. You got the half-naked ladies dancing around, with the paint on them and everything like that. All the audio, the visual kind of throbbing lights, the light shows, and the lava lamps and all that kind of stuff. It's like, I could just imagine if we got any viewers who actually attended any of these Hawkwind shows in the early 70s, would love to hear in the comments section some stories, because I think that would have been a trip. Okay, great live album, great stuff. I probably didn't get into Hawkwind until very, very late in life. I dabbled in Hawkwind a little bit throughout like the late 80s, early 90s, but I really didn't start to get into Hawkwind seriously till about like 10 years ago. Okay, now I really dig them. Really great band. All right, other end of the ring. Recorded February 3rd, 1975 in Stockholm, Sweden. Okay, originally meant to just be a radio broadcast for Swedish Broadcasting Corporation. All right, but they wound up releasing it a year later as a live album. Okay, Robin Trower and Company. This is, of course, the trio of Robin on guitar, James Dewar, the late, great James Dewar on bass and vocals. Man, what a singer. And Bill Lorden on drums. Okay. Of course, this is not the full show, unfortunately. This is one of those live albums. It's like, where's the rest of it? Right? Where's Bridge of Sighs? Where's Day of the Eagle? There were a couple other tunes played, right? But what they did release, damn good. This was the first Robin Trower album I ever bought. I think I bought this in like 78 or 79. I think 79. And I just absolutely fell in love with him from that day on. Had to have everything he ever did. Just love him. One of my favorite guitar players of all time. Kicking off with Two Rolling Stone, the definitive version of that song right here. Daydream, okay, there's mellow, kind of Hendrixy, really, really cool tune, right? Some great liquidy guitar tones on there. Rock Me Baby, Robin Trower and Company's version of the great B.B. King song. Again, killer version on here. Lady Love, more of an upbeat rocker, okay. I Can't Wait Much Longer, a very cool kind of somber tune, one of my favorite Trower tunes with a killer guitar solo. All right, then you got Alethea, a nice little drum solo from Billy. All right, and then a little bit of Sympathy, finishing it all off. Epic, funky rock track that just kind of builds and builds and builds. It's bluesy, it's funky, it's got rock firepower, killer wah-wah guitar playing throughout the song. Robin was still to this day, one of the best using the crybaby wah-wah. Telling you, doesn't get much better than that. So, a great album. Great album. Some definitive versions of some Robin Trower classics on here. The guitar tone is to die for. The band is just kind of loose and groove-laden and just delivering the tunes in absolute perfection. So, what do I choose here, all right? So, I dig both these albums quite a bit. But when it comes right down to it, I've got a tremendous amount of more history with one. And one of them is just, quite frankly, one of my favorite live albums of all time. One of my favorite guitar players of all time. You know what it is. Obviously, most of you probably knew what it was before we even started this video. Robin Trower is going to get my vote here. As much as I love this Hawkwind album, it's cool, it's unique, it's from another planet. When it comes down to it, I got to go with Trower. This is a 6-round KO for me. Okay, but this is not to put this down by any means. I just, I'm a Trower nut, all right? A Trower fanatic, and I'm a big time lifelong fan of this album. So it's going to get my vote. Like I said, KO here for Trower and Company. Hawkwind does a great job, though. There's no right or wrong answer here. All depends on what you prefer. Upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little white circle with a letter I in it. Click on that. Vote for Robin Trower. Vote for Hawkwind. The winner in 6 days will move on to round 3 of our tournament, which is set to begin very, very shortly, all right, because we're on the last day of round 2. So visit us on the web, www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned for today. 2 more episodes of Classic Live Album War. Then we're going to take a break for roughly a week. Going to do some top 10 songs, best to worst albums, rants. I got something I'm thinking about doing that my favorite guitar players of all time show. And I'm just haven't figured out if I want to do a top 10, top 20, or top 25. That's what I'm kind of wrestling around with. But that's going to come hopefully by the weekend or so. Okay, and so a lot of good stuff happening. Then we'll continue with round 3. I'll also do a quick video this weekend just kind of announcing who is all in the bracket for round 3. All right, so we'll do a quick little video of that so you guys know who's going to be in it. You won't know the matchups, but you'll have to wait and see. And lots of good stuff coming. So stay tuned. We'll see you later on. All right, bye-bye.